Hello everyone, Lid here. So in this video I want to talk about the part of exile to endgame, and I think the endgame have a bit of a problems that I'm starting to get very frustrated about, so I want to talk a little bit about it. And the context for the video is I'm right now at T15, so I'm mostly doing T15 right now, or T16 if I get lucky. I get some of them, and I'm basically at the point where you basically just repeat the content because you're already at the end of the end game, and you're basically just repeating the content that available. Another note is this is my opinion, so you can disagree with it. You don't have to agree with it. This is just a problem that I encounter, and I think this will get frustrated the more you do it. So the beginning of the problem is coming from the node like this, where it doesn't have any mechanic, it doesn't have anything on the maps, and because the Path of Exile 2 map is pretty big, this end up being, you have to spend quite a lot of time to just finish the node. And you have to take the node. Let's say that if this node doesn't exist, I have to do this node in order for me to get here. This is why I call this node a travel node, because I really don't care about the node. It doesn't give me that much. And because of the size of the map feels very empty. And the game does have a solution for this, which is Toplet. And this is an item that you can put on the tower like this if you do the encounter of the tower, which in my opinion, the encounter is really boring. But that's beside the point. So when you finish the tower, you will have this slot available for you, and you can put the tablet there, and when you press it, it will apply the mechanic randomly across the big radius, and the radius of the tower is pretty big. The problem with this one is it's RNG. Let's say like these two expeditions is end up landing here. I have to do this travel node whether I want it or not, because I have to able to go through that node. In a nutshell, what I feel when I'm doing the end game is I do not have a choice to go where I want to go. I basically go wherever the tablet told me to go, because I already paid the tablet on the tower. If I don't get the mechanic, that's a bit stupid in my opinion. That let's say that I already applied, and this expedition is like this node over here, 2 node, 3 node over here. I kind of have to go there because I already spent the tablet. If I don't take the mechanic, that's a little bit stupid, right? So this become a problem. The more I doing it, the more I repeat it, the more it becomes annoying. This basically make me feel like I'm just wandering around aimlessly in this map. I really do not have much choices. This travel node become more and more annoying, and it feels like become more and more of a chore. Now there is a method, there's a way to mitigate this right now, which is basically you have to do all the maps that you do not want the tower to apply to, which in my opinion, that's ridiculous, because you already paid the tablet, and now you have to do all the map that you do not want the tablet to apply to. Why do we have to have this much step just to get a mechanic into the node? Like in PoE 1, you just put the scarabs, you get the mechanic, that's it. It's very simple, and it makes your endgame very customizable. You can choose what mechanic you want to put into the maps, and it adds variety in the end game, so you're not getting bored by doing the same thing over and over again. In Path of Exile 2, that choice is not exactly there. So my solutions that I offer for this problem is make the tablet not randomized. You can choose which node you want the tablet to apply the mechanic to. This is basically the same thing with the scarabs on the PoE 1. And you already do the encounter of the tower, you already pay the tablets. So I think it's fair if you can choose where you want to put your mechanic on. It's fair for you to get your mechanic. That's basically is my point. And I think this is a good solution, because this will also give the player the sense of control. Now you can decide where you want to go. For the player like me, I like map bosses. This is the node that I'm always looking forward into. I love fighting boss in this game. The boss fight on this game is fantastic. And if I want to do that one, I can just put it here. I can put it in the way. So when I get another tower, I can put it again, and I can keep filling the travel node with the mechanic. So while I'm working toward the map bosses, I have things to do. I can farm the mechanic. I don't have to do the travel node that are very boring because the map is big and there's not much density inside there. But if I can choose to add a mechanic into a certain node, I can make that node have multiple mechanic that can fill in the blank inside the maps. So that will also fix the density of the maps just by adding the mechanic. And from the developer side, they can also control these things. Like number one, they can play around with the drop rate, because if you can choose which node you can apply the mechanic into. Now the tablet become more powerful, the tablet become more meaningful. So it cannot be too common, but it also cannot be too rare, because if it's too rare, then what's the point of the tablet, right? Like, it's that simple. And they can also control like how many mechanic you can apply on the node. Let's say that on one node like this, you maximum have like, let's say, 4 mechanic. You cannot add too much mechanic inside the map, so you can only add like 4 mechanic or 3 mechanic. I don't know what the number is. They can also limit that, and they can also play around with the tablet itself. If you see on the tablet, there is a range for the number of maps that the tablet can apply to. So in this case, this one is like 9 maps inside the range, and because the tablet is more powerful, now it cannot affect that many maps, let's say. So from the developer side, there's things that can play around to kind of control the curve of the progressions on the end game, so it's not feeling too fast, it's also not feeling too slow, something like that. This also will give the player a sense of directions. Now they can choose where they want to go. I hope this will give like some sort of purpose for you to actually go to the certain way. So I think the solutions will fix the problem that I have in the end game. I think the solution will fix my frustrations. So I think that's it about my feedback for GGG. I love this game, and I really think that game can be very, very huge. But there's a few things on the game that I think it really need to be considered how things works. So yeah, I think that's all from me today. And if you guys have any opinion, if you think the solution is good, or do you think the solution is stupid, or maybe you have your own solutions, let me know in the comment below. I also don't know how many people already at T15, so let me know where you guys are right now, because I think this problem is only become very annoying for me when I'm start repeating T15. Basically, I'm already at the end of the tier. From tier 1 to tier 15, I'm mostly worried about like unlocking point, go to certain things to do certain things, like opening hideout, trying to collect enough splinter to get into like an encounter and something like that. So I don't really bother by it, but at the end game where I'm just basically repeating the same thing and it's just basically repetitions, this become more and more annoying. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching. If you like the video, consider like and subscribe. That will help the channel a lot, and it's also going to push the video to more people, and I will see you in the next one.